Hey guys, Estelle here. How are you all doing? I am actually on a lot later than normal. We had softball to do, and we also had tumbling, so we didn't get back till kind of late. So we are going to demonstrate tonight eyeshadow palette number 4. This week I've kind of done one of every color, and every night I've done 2 looks on each eye. And so here we go with palette 4 tonight. So we're going to start off first. And I'm sorry about my lighting, y'all. I don't have very good lighting at nighttime. And I try to do this during the day when everything is all good. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna have to adjust some lights here and there, but we're gonna figure it out. Alright, so eyeshadow palette 4 is golds and teals. It is super cool. Some people are a little scared of the teal colors, but honestly, I'm gonna show you tonight that it's not that bad, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 different looks. We're gonna do one on each eye, okay? So we are gonna do, and we're just gonna go with it and show you how easy peasy and how pretty this eyeshadow palette really can be, okay? So let's get started. If you have this shadow palette, I would love to know. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is on my left eye, this eye, we're gonna do a gold look. And then on the other side, we're just gonna mix it up. We're gonna do 2 completely different looks. So we need to start off with a transition color. And for me with this palette, I always use this color. It's the lighter of the 2 matte browns, and that is what our transition color is gonna be. So I started off and I put eye primer on my eyes. It's important. It helps your eyeshadow stay in place, and not come off. Hey Bella. It also gives you a nice darker rich color than you would have if you did not use eye primer. Alright, so I put that matte. That is kind of my crease transition color, and then we're going to go in with our really crease color. Now we're going to do a little bit darker brown. This Brave color, this is going to be our true crease color, okay? So this eye we're going to do a brown look, and the next eye we're going to do with the teal, so I can kind of show you really and truly how pretty they are, and they don't really come out blue, so you don't look like you've taken a lesson from the 80s, okay? Alright, so we've got that. That's our crease color, and now we're going to come in with this really, really pretty copper color right here. And this is going to kind of be our center to the outside. See that pretty shimmer? Look how rich that color looks, okay? And this doesn't take a lot. Y'all are seeing I'm not putting a whole lot of effort into this. So the last step in this, and then we're going to make sure everything is blended, is the Tender, which is a light... Hold on, don't chew it. No, don't chew my shoe. She's chewing my shoe, sorry. It wasn't really a pair I really liked, but. Alright, so we've got this really, really light shimmery color, and that's going to be our inside corner color, and that's also what we're going to use to highlight our brow bone. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do a little bit of blending. Like I said before, I like to blend, but not a whole lot, because I really want you to kind of see where the colors are and they stop, but all nice and blended and pretty together. Alright, so this is eyeshadow palette 4, which has got some really pretty copper and teal colors. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit more of this right here. Kind of bridge the gap between the dark gold. Let's see. Oh, that helps. the dark gold that we used on the outside and the lighter gold that we used on the inside, okay? But our eyeshadow palettes are so pigmented that you don't even use a whole lot. The only reason I have some missing on this palette is because I dropped it and it cracked. All right, so there you go. Now let's go ahead. I'm usually really prepared, but tonight I don't even have eyeliner for this. Let me find the black one. Let's see, we're gonna go with the chocolatey brown. All right, so we've got, this is Proper. So this month, our kudos is an eyeshadow palette of your choice, an eyeliner, and of course the 3D Fiber mascara. Hola, Ginger. Are you having a margarita? All right, so that is the copper look, the brown look with eyeshadow palette 4. We're gonna go ahead and quickly do our mascara, and then we're gonna move on to the teals. So this palette really is super versatile. If you've got green eyes, blue eyes, the copper side looks awesome. And I even think, and if you've got blue eyes, that teal side looks really good. And a brown does too. So this palette, even though I have green, I still think I can wear it. You had 2, lucky you. I didn't have any. All right, just getting our mascara on. Gel, fiber gel. We just got home from baseball. Well, we quickly stopped at Five Guys. All right. I'm gonna finish this eye and then we're gonna move over to the other one. Thank you, Ginger, for sharing my video. Anybody else, if you're watching and you love what you see, I greatly appreciate you sharing it. All right, so eyeshadow palette 4, our coppers, they are done. All right, so, hey, Andrea. All right, so now let's move on to side number 2, and we're gonna use a little bit more of these colors, okay? All right, let me see. All right, so let's go with this one. All right, transition color we're gonna use for this is we're gonna use this blue color. I've never done this look before, we're bringing it. It's one I found online. Okay, so you see how blue it looks on this, but when I put it on my eye, it definitely doesn't look that blue, right? All right, so this is our transition color. I went with the lighter of the 2 blues, and we're blending that out, okay? Then I'm gonna take my crease brush, and we're gonna take the dark,
Amanda Matthews.
and we're gonna take the dark color, and we're gonna go in our crease, right here. Dogs are squeaking, and we're just gonna darken our outer V, okay? You can really do a nice smoky eye with this as well. All right, so there you go with that. And then we're gonna take this lighter blue that's got some shimmer in it, and this is gonna be our lid color. This is what we're gonna put all right here. We're gonna kind of pat it because we want it pretty shimmery. All right. I'm gonna get it on good. And then we have one more step to do. But you see, this is really not a palette to be scared of. It looks scary. All right, let me do one more thing just to show you. And another thing you can do if you want a more intense color is I'm gonna wet my brush with some rose water. So we're gonna wet the color. So I'm wetting it and dipping it on here. And we're gonna use that to kind of pat it on there. It's gonna give you a little bit more intense pigment, okay? My favorite blending brush is, I like our deluxe brush. It is fluffy and the bristles are pretty soft. So that's what I'm gonna do as soon as I'm done blending, okay? And then I'm gonna come in with our last step with back to this really light shimmer, and this is gonna be right here on the inside corner, okay? And then we're gonna use this underneath our eyelids. All right. And then we're gonna come in with our blending brush real quick, but I like, you see how you can definitely tell the different tones of the colors. I like that. I personally want to see that. I want to see it blended, but not a whole lot. So I'm taking my deluxe brush. Make sure you clean it off. I'm going to soften up these edges real quick. And then we're done. But how pretty is that? Maybe add a little bit more of the lighter cream color just right here, so it's not so harsh. But there you go. So two totally different eye looks. You can mix the blue with the brown. I am going to do eyeliner. I'm going to do eyeshadow with this because I want to use the dark blue as the eyeliner. For me, I think because I'm blind, I prefer eyeshadow. And I don't know how to do a winged eyeliner. So I'm just taking this with my angle shadow brush and we're going to get the navy blue color here. And we're going to put this on our eyes. And we're going to even do a little bit down here. And then I'm going to get a Q-tip. And we're going to clean it up. And then we're going to put our mascara on and then we're done. A Q-tip is like my best friend. I'll go underneath here and just kind of clean everything up. We'll put a little bit more, making sure the dog's not chewing on anything. Put a little bit more powder under our eyes. And then we'll put our mascara on. And then we're going to be done. So two totally different looks. Which look do you prefer? Do you prefer the coppers from palette 2? Or do you prefer the teals from, I'm on palette 4, sorry. Do you prefer the copper eye, which is this side? Or do you prefer the teal eye? But seriously, y'all do not need to be scared of those blues. They are not as dramatic as one would think. Oh, hey Heather, thank you for sharing my video. Appreciate it, girl. How are you this evening? All right, we're putting our lashes on, our fibers. And we're almost done, girls. It really doesn't take long. I spend a lot of time talking to you guys, but it really doesn't take a long time. And what I like to do is I like to go one eye. So if I'll do my crease on one eye, I'll do my crease in the other eye. That's how you're going to get it to match. So go step by step on each eye, okay? You don't want to go ahead and do one complete look on one eye and then try to recreate it, because you're not going to do it. So step by step, do one eye, then the other eye, okay? right, we're just sealing in those fibers, but that is it. And what I like with this palette, what I think looks really good is, of course, red lips. Whether you're going to wear the blue or the coral, you like them both on you. And look, I can so go darker with these looks, but I just, you know, I'm going lighter. But both looks. Alright, we're going with my top notch, which is like a coral. Red. You got Alright. That is it. Eyes are done. 1, 2, copper eye, teal eye. You could definitely mix them up. Top notch on the lips because I like my red orangey lips. And y'all have a awesome night. Talk to y'all later. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing if you really liked it. And tomorrow I'll be back with palette 5.